afternoon, good morning, good evening, everybody. It is Saturday, December 16th, and you know what that means. It's time for the High Risk Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Daddy is back. The phenomenal one, Jeremy Pierce. Welcome, one. And you know you can check me out on the socials on Charismatic Creations on Facebook and YouTube, Charismatic_Creations 52 on Instagram, and of course the 215 on Twitter. Today's show, much like the opposite of last week's show, we are doing the top stories of 2023. No superstar spotlight, no episode list. We're just gonna get down into the nitty gritty. But for now, you know what's next, so just go on and hit my music. All right, we remember, Vince McMahon, he was gone. He, quote unquote, retired due to some sexual misconduct allegations, and he stepped down. He was no longer the CEO of the WWE, and he's back. We thought he would be gone, but Vince McMahon is one of the few people who has just beaten everything. He's beaten Me Too, he's beaten the feds, he's beaten everything, he's beaten God, and now he's back. Triple H was in charge. Stephanie McMahon and Nick Khan were the acting CEOs. Triple H was in charge of creative, and things were going well, and then things got bad when Vince came back. And how did Vince come back? He essentially said he will not approve any television rights deal or sale of the company unless he's back as the chairman of the board. Now, mind you, he actually doesn't need to be there or be involved for the TV rights deals. Not at all. But to sell the company, yes, he needed to be there. So he essentially held the WWE hostage, and it worked. And when he came back, things got bad. Back to the normal, usual crap, until something that we never knew would happen. WWE sold themselves. They sold themselves to Endeavor, merged with UFC, and created TKO. They sold themselves to the Endeavor Holdings Group, and they formed a $21 billion global live sports and entertainment company. UFC was valued at $12 billion, and the WWE was valued at $9.3 billion. And now here we are. WWE is still the same. There hasn't really been any true cross promotion with UFC, but they're here. It was something we didn't think would ever happen. Next up, we have two people in the WWE who were just completely and utterly dominant. We're going to put these two together. That would be Rhea Ripley and Roman Reigns. Now, with Rhea, she won the SmackDown Women's Championship at WrestleMania 39 of this year. She defeated Charlotte Flair. Making sure I get this right. She defeated Charlotte Flair. So, in April of this year, she was the champion. She is still the champion, currently now the world women's champion, and she, I believe, hasn't lost a match in almost a year plus. Yeah, Rhea has been dominant, and they have given her challenger after challenger, and she has defeated challenger after challenger. Probably her best match was a random match against Raquel Rodriguez, out of all people, on Raw. Her matches against Zoe were good. And her match against Zelina was fantastic for the setting that they were in. And the Roman Reigns has been dominant, much to a less convincing degree as Rhea, because Rhea has pretty much been doing it by herself. And if you've seen one Roman Reigns match, you've seen all Roman Reigns matches. But he is currently your WWE Undisputed Universal Champion. He's two world champions. And we don't know when he's going to lose the championship at this point. We're making the assumption that it could be Cody could finish the story at WrestleMania, but who truly knows? But WWE has created two dominant champions. Actually, speaking of dominant champions, there's been one more dominant champion, and that is Gunther. Yes, Gunther is now the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion in the history of the WWE, surpassing the Honky Tonk Man. And he's the current champion right now. Will he lose the championship? We don't know, but he's been great, and the matches have been nothing short of fantastic. Matches with Sheamus, matches with Drew, Bronson Reed, and his two-parter with Chad Gable have been absolutely fantastic. And now Gunther is as dominant as anyone has seen in professional wrestling today. Speaking of dominant reigns and long reigns, MJF, Maxwell Jacob Freeman. He is the longest reigning world champion in AEW's short history, surpassing Kenny Omega, surpassing Jon Moxley, and he's done it by hook or crook, and his story alone has been great. So starting with the championship reign, defeating Jon Moxley, he started out as a heel, and now he's somehow turned himself into a lovable babyface, and much of that has to do with him and Adam Cole, this weird bromance that they have, and it's worked. MJF and Adam Cole were originally going to be rivals, and we've told this beautiful story of MJF slowly becoming a good guy, building up friendships, and really standing up for himself, doing things on his own. He's now a tweener, and then it's branched out into this feud with Joe, this feud with Roderick Strong. Now we have the Devil and his goons, and it's all been laid on the backs of MJF and Adam Cole. Now both of them are hurt. Adam Cole more so, he's out, but MJF has recently got hurt, but he's had a great reign, but I kind of see it coming to an end very shortly. But who would have thought that this guy would come out on top, becoming the longest reigning champion in the history of AEW? And we go to the opposite spectrum, and we go to the two shocking things that happened this year. These were two shocking deaths. That was the death of Bray Wyatt and the death of Jay Briscoe. Now, mind you, we've had other deaths in wrestling, Lanny Poffo, Superstar Billy Graham, the Iron Sheik, but these two are really shocking. Jay Briscoe was killed in a car accident earlier this year, and it hurt. He and his brother Mark were finally getting their chance to shine on the main stage, to shine on television, and then boom, Jay was taken away from us. And Mark's carried that torch. He is the most over guy probably in all of wrestling, and he's been absolutely nothing short of fantastic. And then we have Bray Wyatt, who was rehired, came up with another brilliant, engaging story with the White Rabbit and the Wyatt Six, and I was there for his return at Extreme Rules, and it was beautiful. And then he disappeared, and we're like, well, where is Bray Wyatt. Come to find out, he's sick. And he passed away. That one caught me and a lot of people off guard, just like Eddie Guerrero's death was shocking and just out of the blue. It was this one with Bray Wyatt. Somebody go check on Eric Rowan losing Brody and Bray. These were two deaths of two, honestly, legends at this point. Jay Briscoe was a legend in tag team wrestling, and Bray Wyatt was a legend when it came to storytelling. They will be missed. We move over to something that I was very, very happy to see and wish I could have went to. Impact Wrestling celebrated 1,000 episodes. It was amazing. Who would have thought that this company that was counted out time and again would be able to celebrate 1,000 episodes? Think about that. And it was a really good show of the past, the present, the future. If we just run down the card, first episode had a pre-show match of Jody Threat versus Kylan King. Then we had a 20-man Feast or Fire match featuring Chris Bay, Crazy Steve, Moose, Joe Hendry, Jonathan Gresham, and many, many, many others. We had the reunion of Team 3D defeating the Desi Hit Squad. We had Frankie Kazarian and Tracy Brooks ending their really, really good feud, defeating Eddie and Alicia Edwards. And Chris Sabin defeated Leo Rush to win the X Division Championship, I believe for like the 9th or 10th time. But then we get to the second night, and we had a before the Impact pre-show match of MK Ultra, the team of Killer Kelly and Masha Slamovich, retaining their Knockouts Tag Team Championships against the Death Dolls, Jessica and Courtney Rush. We had Allen Angels defeat Mike Bailey, Ace Austin, Rich Swann, Samurai Del Sol, and Zachary Wentz in an Ultimate X match. Jake Something defeated Dirty Dango in a Fox Box Rules match. Eric Young defeated Kenny King by DQ, and then that match was changed to Eric Young and Scott D'Amore taking on Kenny King and Shelton Jean, and then that match was changed because they both ended DQ to a returning America's Most Wanted, teaming up with Team Canada, Eric Young, Scott D'Amore to take on the Design, Kenny King, and Sheldon Jean. Josh Alexander defeated Trey Miguel. And in our main events was headlined by just a beautiful celebration of women's wrestling, with the team of Gail Kim coming out of retirement, Jordan Gase, Mickie James, Trinity, and Awesome Kong coming out of retirement, being accompanied by Raisha Saeed to defeat the team of the Beautiful People. Giselle Shaw, Angelina Love, Diana Peraza, Savannah Evans, and Tasha Steelz with Jay Vidal and Velvet Scott. They were Team Beautiful People versus Team Over. It was just a beautiful celebration. Don't let anyone tell you different. When it comes to women's wrestling, no one does it better. No one does it better than Impact Wrestling. And then in the final match, this was a dark match. Tommy Dreamer and Rhino defeated the most professional wrestling guys, the team of Brian Myers. It was TNA celebrating 1,000 episodes. You heard me say TNA. You heard me say TNA. Yeah. We're going through a rebrand, ladies and gentlemen, because after Bound for Glory ended, we got the news that Impact Wrestling will be going back to TNA. TNA is back, y'all. Total non-stop action. It's coming, and I, for one, am all here for it. They've gone through a lot of hardships and have come out better on the other side. And with that, they now have a streaming deal with Endeavor. This is not the I don't believe this is the same Endeavor that's owns the WWE. Actually, hold on. It is Endeavor Streaming is a subsidiary of Endeavor. This is the company that owns the WWE and UFC. This, ladies and gentlemen, is very much interesting. Taking place at Forbidden Door 2, we finally got our dream match. And what dream match is that? That would be Bryan Danielson versus Kazuchika Okada. Yeah, we got it. And this match is even crazier because Danielson broke his forearm during this match. So the match was hampered, but it was still good. Something that we didn't think we'd ever see. Two of the all-time greats, and probably the greatest of all time in Bryan Danielson versus the Rainmaker happened. And we all got to witness it. And coming from Forbidden Door, when you think of Okada, you think of one thing. You think of the G1 tournament. And, well, we have something different now in AEW, and that would be the AEW Continental Classic, which was their answer to the G1 tournament. And it's simple. It's a round robin tournament of two groups, with the winner becoming the Triple Crown champion, which will be a combination of the AEW Continental Classic Championship, the Ring of Honor World Championship, and the New Japan Strong Openweight Championship. So now you will be the champion in 3 different promotions. Well, I feel a little bit weird about it, but it's been awesome and it's given us some amazing matches. And my only hope is that we get a women's equivalent. Now, I'd be remiss not to mention this salty boy, and that would be one CM Punk. So where's the big news with CM Punk? It's right there smack dab in the middle. CM Punk was fired by AEW for something that happened at All In, which we'll get into a little bit later. He got into a backstage fight with Jungle Boy, which led to CM Punk being fired and Jungle Boy Jack Perry being suspended, as Tony Khan felt unsafe. Then, months later, CM Punk returned to the WWE. Hell froze over. CM Punk is back. What is his move? What is his purpose? And he has to, finish his story. And there's certain things he can and cannot say, just like there's certain things Tony Khan can and cannot say. But I am pretty much over CM Punk, but I'm interested in what he's going to do. That has my curiosity. We'll see what happens with Jungle Boy. What he does on his return. Wrestling fans are fickle, and a lot of them have this tribalism thing, which I'm not a fan of. To put it to you simply, AEW has struggled with their attendance when it comes to, let's say, half of their shows. And I get it. They currently can't sell out big arenas, unlike Raw and SmackDown, but they're still doing enough. Because there's a potential streaming deal coming. There's a new TV deal coming. But to constantly point it out, when I think WWE has, when it comes to their shows, SmackDown and Raw, probably have some attendance issues as well, but it seems like there's a constant barrage of anti-AEW sentiment. We just need to be happy and understand that we need AEW. We need another wrestling company out there. Sticking with AEW, two of the tops in the world are All Elite. Kota Ibushi and Will Ospreay both leaving New Japan and signing with AEW. Now, I figured Ibushi, because all the news we heard over the last year or so, he was going to sign with AEW, and him and Kenny Omega are best friends. Ospreay was the wild card, because I thought there was a true shot of him signing with the WWE, but he did not. He came to a place that he knows that will help him, and I wholeheartedly believe that Ospreay will be winning the AEW World Championship next year at All In. Moving back to the WWE, the Judgment Day and their rise. After kicking Edge out of the group and becoming a 4-person team of Damian Priest, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Mommy herself, Rhea Ripley, they have been dominant. Yes, they've lost matches here and there, because everybody should lose matches here and there, but they're so over the top and so over that they can lose matches. They have main evented damn near every single Monday Night Raw. Every single one. Damian Priest is Mr. Money in the Bank, pretty much guaranteeing himself a World Heavyweight Championship around his waist. He also was in that fantastic match in Puerto Rico with Bad Bunny. Dominic might be the most hated person in all of professional wrestling. The heat he receives is unreal. Finn Balor looks reinvigorated, and of course, Rhea Ripley, who's just a thing of beauty, who's just mommy. Mommy is always on top. She might be the most over woman in all of wrestling right now. All rise for the Judgment Day. Speaking of rises, LA Knight. Yeah! Leaving Maximum Male Models with two of the people in that group no longer there. Maxine Dupree moving over to the Alpha Academy, also getting herself over and being paired with Otis and them has really worked wonders for her. The former Max Dupree, remember he was LA Knight on NXT, then got called up the main roster, became Max Dupree because of Vince's idiocy. But he became LA Knight once again, and he is super, super, super over. It's crazy how over he is. And he already had his World Championship match against Roman Reigns. He lost because everybody was Roman Reigns, but we're keep doing our best to keep him over. Now, they got to shoot this guy up up the ladder some more. Now, he got the World Championship match. He needs to have a championship belt around his waist. And I think, me personally, I think he's going to be the one to defeat Logan Paul for the United States Championship. I'm just throwing it out there. And No Return gets bigger. Sorry, Bray, rest in peace. No Return in wrestling gets much, much bigger than R-Truth. Yeah, I said it. R-Truth is back, returning in the most random segment at Survivor Series. It's just good to have this man back. It really, really, really is. And now he's got this little thing going on with the Judgment Day. Prince Nana and Swerve Strickland. I told y'all, I think Swerve's that dude. You can build your company around Swerve, and we're seeing right now how good and amazing he is in AEW. Getting let go by the WWE was a great thing. Now, we never got our Swerve Keith Lee match, but Swerve is just that dude right now. He is in the Continental Classic, has a chance to win it. Had an amazing feud with Hangman Page. He won both of those matches. And he's been elevated with his own faction in the Mogul Embassy with him, Prince Nana, the Gates of Agony as well. And the Prince Nana's random dancing, which just came out of the blue, has helped get not only Prince Nana over, but has gotten Swerve over as well. This is that dude. I want Swerve to be world champion so bad. So bad. Now, I stopped covering it probably earlier in the year, maybe even late last year, because it just wasn't good. But NXT 2.0 wasn't good, and coming out of the Black and Gold brand, which was everything to a lot of us, we were struggling. But NXT got good again. NXT got good again. So much to the point where I am thinking about covering it again. NXT is doing very, very well. They're building characters. They're building stories. They have their niche. And the future looks good. I'd be remiss not to mention one other dominant champion, our forever champion, Athena. Athena last night defeated Billie Starkz, retaining the Ring of Honor Women's Championship. She is currently the longest reigning champion in the history. Her reign is 371 days and counting. Let that sink in. Wow. Just wow. It's something, it's very much something to behold. How good Athena has been. How good she's been. She's carried that championship with honor and pride. And will she be defeated? I thought Billie Starkz was going to win last night. I really, really did think Billie Starkz was going to win. But 371 days of champion and counting means something. Kazuchika Okada. What's up? Is he a free agent? Is he going somewhere? What's going to happen? There is a very strong possibility that Okada could be leaving New Japan Pro Wrestling after this year. And the WWE are very much in play to sign Okada. Now, yes, I think he would be wasted there. But I can't say I'm not really giddy about seeing a potential Okada versus Roman Reigns match. I am. I don't think Okada would have the best matches in WWE because the WWE style is just not great for people like Okada, and he'd be better served for New Japan. But Okada going to the WWE would be a major thing. And lastly, we have to talk about the biggest wrestling show in history. It's the first event held outside of AEW, outside of the United States, and the first to be ever held in a football stadium for them. All In, paying homage to the first ever All In. This was something else. Held in Wembley Stadium, they had a gate of 1.2 million and an attendance of 72,265. That's absurd. That is absolutely bananas. And it was very good. It was a spectacle. So much to the point that we're coming back to it next year. And the only thing that I wish would have happened on the show would be more than one women's match. That's it. That's all I wanted, was more than one women's match. We've talked about this. We're not going to dive into it, but it was a good card headlined by our Stadium Stampede match and MJF and Adam Cole. It was good. We need more. I trust it to happen. But those, ladies and gentlemen, are our top stories of 2023. Did I miss anything? Did I forget anything? Y'all let me know. But that is our show. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. Next week, we have the top matches of 2023 show. This is going to be good. Don't forget to check out the socials, Charismatic Creations on Facebook and YouTube, Charismatic_Creations52 on Instagram, and of course the 215 on Twitter. And as always, Gigi Dolan, Bailey, Willow Nightingale, Isla Dawn, and Chris Statlander. You'll holla at your boy. Peace.